Welcome to Tech Challenge Makers Conquer E-commerce. I'm Elise, your resident tech expert and author of the book Browser versus Buyer. I've worked with entrepreneurs for over 6 years, and I've helped hundreds of creatives overcome their technology fears. Gain clarity and direction in your business with Elise's E-commerce Elevator 6-month group coaching program. Join now at myscheduledbiz.com/elevator. The link is in the show notes. Okay, today we'll be talking with Valentin Radu. He is the founder and CEO of Omniconvert, a growth enabler for e-commerce and retail companies looking to increase customer lifetime value and decrease customer acquisition costs. Valentin is also the founder and instructor at CVO Academy, where he coaches and teaches e-commerce businesses how to scale their brands profitably and sustainably. He is also a father, husband, and pet parent. By the end of this episode, you're going to understand why improving customer lifetime value is so important to your business, the technology that's required, and of course, walk away with one action step. So Valentin, I'm so glad to have you here to share your expertise with us. Can you tell us a little bit about your business and your experience with e-commerce?
Yeah, of course. Thanks a lot for inviting me, Elise, and thanks everyone for listening to this. My intention here is to give you a lot of shortcuts so that you can level up your e-commerce game. About e-commerce, so I've started my entrepreneurial journey when I was young and full and poor, and thanks to the poverty and the struggle, I managed to do a first successful business. Then I almost got bankrupt, and the third one that turned out to be the largest e-commerce online car insurance player from my home country, from Romania. After that, thanks to understanding the e-commerce game and the fact that it's not only about acquiring customers that never come back, I've built Omniconvert, which is a growth enabler. So it's a software as a service company and a managed services component that is helping agencies and other e-commerce companies to leverage their existing data by focusing on improving the North Star metric, which is the customer lifetime value. So thanks to that experience, we are now helping hundreds of e-commerce players to level up their game and leverage the treasure that they are sleeping on, which is their customer data.
Okay, awesome. So that's exactly why you're here, because you are an expert in customer lifetime value. And this is something I really want to share with the bizzers, because the customer lifetime value is basically, well, I'm going to let you define it. Can you give us a definition of what customer lifetime value actually is for those of us who maybe don't know?
Yeah.
Before we jump into the rest of the episode, please share this podcast with other business owners that it can help. Also, be sure to stick with me to the end of the episode to learn your challenge for today and implement what you've learned.
Yeah. So let's put it like this, Elise. When a customer is buying for the first time, let's say the average order value for that customer is $45, right? So you paid $20 on Facebook ads or whatever to acquire that customer, and the average order value for the customer is $45. But what you don't know is how much this customer is going to spend on your e-commerce down the line. So not knowing this crucial fact will make you shoot in the dark, because you can't properly state that the number of orders that a customer is going to place on our store are going to be 3 or 4. So without knowing the purchase frequency, which is the number of orders per customer, without knowing the average order value, without knowing the customer retention rate, which means how many customers are going to place another order, you will not be in a position to know how much any customer is going to spend on your store. So basically, the customer lifetime value is a predicted value of the gross margin or net margin or revenue, depending on how you are calculating it, that the customer is going to spend on your store. So basically, that's customer lifetime value, and it's a crucial KPI for any e-commerce. Unfortunately, let's say the giants of the internet like Google, Facebook, whatever, are not teaching us those kind of things, because it's their way to do customer value optimization, right? So they train us into believing that the only way to growth is to acquire new customers, which is not true, right? If you over-deliver to your existing customers, you will get more money from them, and you will have more budgets to spend to acquire more customers. And that's the e-commerce growth flywheel.
Right. So there's two ways to get more sales, either from new people or existing people. So your goal here with OmniConvert and with customer lifetime value is to know how much can I expect to get in sales or margin, like you said, from this one customer. So if I know more than likely, an average customer is going to spend $300 with me, am I now willing to spend $10 to acquire that customer? Well, probably. But if you know that your average customer is $300 is what they're going to buy, you're not going to spend $350 on ads to get that customer.
That's right.
So it helps you make decisions about what you want to do with your business. And that's, I mean, really why the customer lifetime value is so important, so that you know how to make those decisions, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So to that end, let's move on to our second question, which is, why should our listeners care about customer lifetime value, and how does this impact sales?
Yeah. So they should care about the customer lifetime value because that's the key to sustainable growth. So the sure path to profitability is to optimize, to increase the customer lifetime value, and to also decrease the customer acquisition cost, because at the end of the day, that's the sure path to profitability. Getting more for customers and spending less to acquire them, right? That's the whole idea. It sounds very simple. However, in order to get there, you need a thing which is called CVO, customer value optimization. I've been drying my mouth talking about these things, about having a conscious process towards increasing customer lifetime value and decreasing customer acquisition cost. In order to achieve that, so basically, if you don't care about that, then you are shooting in the dark. And it was that guy called Jeff Bezos that stated at some point beautifully that the one which is winning a market is the one which affords to pay the most to acquire a customer. So without finding how much can you afford to pay to acquire a customer, then you will be either overspending, either underspending. And if you overspend, you're not profitable. If you underspend, you are leaving money on the table. So you're not acquiring enough market share so that you can increase your budget, hire more talented people, find the new products, and basically grow your business. And it's all a matter of profitability. If you want to be profitable in e-commerce, you have to monitor and to optimize customer lifetime value.
Yeah, so yeah, 100%. I'm totally with you. So customer value optimization is a CVO is the abbreviation for that. Is all about basically the study of figuring out how to get more from your customers and give less for your customers, right? So you're trying to optimize the value of each customer. So just in case anyone is not quite following, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page with that. So yeah, the customer lifetime value is hugely important because it's what helps you figure out what you need to do. And you watch that number as you try and do better with your customers to see if you are improving your customer lifetime value, right? Because that's kind of how it's the whole game, the whole circle, right? You're watching this to see, can I make this better so that I can be more profitable, so that I can continue to sell more of my products. So yeah, 100%. Okay, so next question. How does technology play a role in improving your customer lifetime value? Want more help with your e-commerce brand? Subscribe to Tech Challenge Makers Conquer E-commerce on your favorite podcast platform so that you don't miss any of the episodes that are released every week to help you grow your e-commerce shop.
Yeah, that's a great question. So basically, that's why we exist, right? We built a technology because I was wrestling with a lot of SQL queries, with a lot of Excel sheets, which were too hard to handle. And at some point, I've said, no more. Let's build a technology to do this, to address exactly this problem. So what's happening, Elise, is that the technology can allow us to build reports so that we can monitor not only the average customer lifetime value, but to break down the customer lifetime value by things like the first product or the first category or the first brand that has been bought. If a customer is starting to buy, I don't know, Adidas versus Nike, is the customer lifetime value going to be higher or lower? So knowing this will allow you to know how much you can spend to acquire those customers and which products you should be focusing on. And let me give you an example. For instance, one of our first customers, it was a fashion retailer. They were focusing on a lot of channels. One of their competitors started to do TV ad campaigns. They've started to lose market share, and they thought that the only thing that they should be doing is to spend more on TV campaigns as well. However, thanks to their CMO that I've worked with, we've realized that, you know what, let's see who are our best customers, which are the customers that spend the most, because they've had this Facebook ad and Google ad statistics showing that most of their visitors were ladies between 20 and 25 years old. And they thought these are our best customers, but those are the visitors, not the customers. So thanks to our analysis based on the customer lifetime value, we've seen that their best customers were ladies between 35 to 45 years old, living in cities with less than 50,000 inhabitants that haven't got the shopping malls to buy the brands that they were selling. So guess what? After that, they focused their campaigns on precisely these cities, and they've thrived, because that's how the technology can help you leverage your treasure, which is the customer data, right? So a model to do this is based on the RFM segment, right? RFM stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value. So instead of looking at all the customers the same, you look at which are our best customers, the ones that are buying constantly, they've bought most recently, and they've spent most on our business. And every company has those type of customers. I call them the golden gooses, right? The ones which are giving us the golden eggs. So no matter how many obstacles we put in front of them, they keep on buying, they keep on coming, and they buy from our company. So those are the ideal customers, right? They have the highest CLV. Knowing your ideal customers like that company did will allow you to know how to write ads, how to build creatives, who to target, what kind of products to push through, because basically it's transformative for a company to apply the RFM segmentation. It's just that, of course, it sounds a bit sophisticated, but at the end of the day, you can't do the same normal things like everyone is doing, expecting for outstanding results nowadays, because the competition is too high, the customer acquisition costs are too high, and everyone is fighting over the same eyeballs. Yeah, it's not like we can get customers from Venus or Mars. Yeah. So mainly that's how you can leverage the technology.
Yes. So yes, I mean, I'm just shaking my head up and down through this whole thing. I just had a conversation with a customer about a client of mine about this exact same thing, about how to target in on cities and specific places based upon what you know your customers are doing. So yes, obviously knowing the customer lifetime value and having the tech to figure that out and figure out who has the highest customer lifetime value makes it so you can target your right person better. And I know a lot of e-commerce shop owners talk about how they can't figure out who their ideal customer is. This clearly is the way to identify them, right? So if you have enough people coming through your shop, you should be able to look at these stats, the CFM, and determine who they are from that. I mean, you just gave the example of they were able to say, these people at this age range that are in these types of cities were their customers. And so this is invaluable information. Something that I teach about that's kind of similar to this is I do website reviews. And one of the things we look at is their Google Analytics, which clearly you have different information than Google Analytics, but this is what they're going to relate to. And I will ask them before we look at any of the stats, what is your best traffic source? And they'll tell you, oh, it's Pinterest or whatever. Pinterest is one I get a lot. And I'm like, okay, awesome. So we look at it and yeah, they're sending the most traffic, but they're not the people who are buying, right? And so that isn't really the traffic we care about. And that's essentially the same thing as what you're talking about here. And I'm not bashing Pinterest. I know business owners who do very well making money through Pinterest. I'm just saying this would be one example. So yes, this is invaluable information that can help you target better and spend your time and money on the things that will actually bring you sales. All right, so we have one last question. This is actually kind of my favorite question because most people cannot answer it in one step, okay? So this question is, what is one thing every listener should implement today when it comes to improving their customer lifetime value for their brand?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I love practical stuff, so that's why I'm going to give you a practical advice. So customer value optimization has 3 pillars. Yeah, in order to improve customer lifetime value, you have 3 main directions, let's say. You can either improve the products, You can either improve the marketing or you can either improve the customer experience. But these are cosmetics. What it's important is the hygiene part. So you need to fix what's broken. And in order to know what's broken, you have to involve the customer feedback into your decision-making process. So that means you start with asking a very simple question, which I'm a fan of. What, on a scale from 1 to 10, from 0 to 10, what are the chances that you recommend our business, our products to your friends, relatives, and whatever? So this is NPS. Yeah, it's called the Net Promoter Score. So with this type of research, you will be in a position not only to have a quantitative approach about how many customers would recommend us, but you can also do a follow-up question. So what made you give us this rating today? And where is the treasure? Because they will say things related to some of those three pillars. Yeah, you can either have late shipments or destroyed packages or whatever. You can either have things related to too intrusive emails or too many emails, or I don't know, you've charged me extra and on the checkout page I had another price, or whatever type of feedback. Or you can either have feedback related to the product, which is the worst to have, right? So if you have a broken product, no amount of marketing will fix that. So the first thing that you should be doing to improve customer lifetime value is to find where it hurts. Yeah, without doing the X-ray, you don't know what bone is broken, right? So the first thing is the X-ray, and the X-ray relies on enough feedback gathered from your existing customers. Once you have this type of feedback, you will be in a position to basically fix the pillar which is mostly affected. Yeah. So that means afterwards your destiny, the destiny of your company, is going to be dramatically different, because this is a transformative. I've seen this multiple times. Yeah. When you have, I don't know, dozens or hundreds of customers which will tell you, hey, that's broken. Yeah. Don't bother about improving the CPC or whatever. Fix this thing over there. So with this type of approach, you will become a customer-centric company. And after that, of course, you will be learning more and more. It all starts with involving the customer and giving the customer a place at your in the board, a seat in the board. Yeah. So mainly that would be the first thing. And in order to do so, of course, I'm a big advocate of learning. So basically, I'm a self-learner. I'm now writing my book about customer value optimization. I've helped, and I'm basically doing this type of things. I work side by side with entrepreneurs or e-commerce leaders or retail directors to improve their customer lifetime value. And I've seen this firsthand, that it's transformative to involve the customers, because we all think that we know, but the ugly truth is that we don't really know. So that's why we need to open our ears. And it's like in that quote, right? You have 2 ears and only 1 mouth, because you should be listening twice than you talk. So basically that's my bet. And by the way, I will invite you to CVO Academy. We have a free course over there about customer value optimization. If you're interested, you can get that course, and it will open your appetite towards sustainable growth for your e-commerce.
So yes, 100%. This is actually really interesting, because Valentin, I actually had another guest on, I think 2 episodes ago, and he gave very similar advice about asking the customer a question. And I think, you guys, we've heard this twice in less than a month. I would say that this is something you need to implement right now. Okay, 2 experts in the industry have told you need to ask your customers. I am also going to be releasing a masterclass this month, if you happen to be listening at the same time we're putting this out, that is all about how to ask your customers what they want and who they are. So 3 times in a month, you know what they say, you hear something 3 times, you know that you really need to pay attention. So you need to pay attention to what Valentin is telling us here, guys. Ask your customer, right? I love the strategy of give them a number first, because a lot of people will answer a question if it's a simple number. You just click it and then do the follow-up question where they can actually fill in their thoughts. Valentin, you're the one with the experience here. I would bet, though, that there's some percentage of people that answer the number question and don't actually fill in the comment. Is that correct?
Yeah, of course. Usually what you need to aim to is to have an NPS higher than 75. So if you are above 75, then that means you're doing the right thing. Just push on the marketing pedal. If it's less than 75, focus on fixing the product or the customer experience. And also the response rate should be anywhere above 10% of your customers, right? So if you have more than 10% of your customers answering to these questions, and if you have an NPS higher than 75, you're good. You're on the right track. If you don't, you need to adjust the mechanism, right? So send send more emails. You can even run ad campaigns to invite your existing customers to give you feedback. Yeah, because you need to frame the question in a manner that customers want to answer to. Yeah, it's like, we want to know if we've done our job. Yeah, and in this manner, you'll show them that you care about them. Many companies which are losing customers, it was a research made by Nielsen, like 68% of the customers which are leaving a company, they leave that company due to the fact that they feel that that company doesn't care about them. So in order to show that you care, ask them. Yeah, it's like in marriage, right? How was your day, honey? If you ask your wife that, I think your marriage can be better for sure.
Yeah, I love that. Yes, 100%. Yeah, I love that. That's great. All right, guys. So Valentin, thank you so much for joining with us. I am so grateful that you're offering that free thing for the free class for the Bizzers. We'll definitely get that link on there, guys. Go click that, check it out. If you want to know more about customer value optimization, customer lifetime value, Valentin is the one to go to. Definitely go check him out. He would love to help you with that for your business. Valentin, so aside from going and taking that course or class, I'm not sure how you phrased it, the best place to connect would be on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'm a LinkedIn guy. I post every day, and also I'm writing a book about it. I'll give you the link, Elise, so that you can put it in the show notes. And yeah, so that's the best way to get a hold on me.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining with us and talking with the Bizzers. And I look forward to seeing your book when it comes out and hopefully connecting again.
Yeah, same here. Thanks a lot, Elise, for having me. And bye, everyone. All the best from Bucharest.
Bye. If you like what we're doing here at Tech Challenge Makers Conquer E-commerce and it's helping you gain clarity and direction in your business, you should check out Elise's e-commerce elevator. In this 6-month group coaching program, I'll guide you through the ins and outs of building a business for purchase conversion. You'll also get to join up with a small group of other e-commerce shop owners who are focused on building exponential growth and reaching the right audience. Head over to myscheduledbiz.com/elevator and join us. We welcome a limited number of new members every 6 months, and by signing up today, you'll reserve your spot. Thanks for listening. See you next week right here on Tech Challenge Makers Conquer E-commerce.